because you've put a lot of input. In fact, as I was seated here, I couldn't help but just admire the kind of minds that were seated here and the input that you're giving and the richness into which you've enriched our debate. Once we get to the National Assembly, we know what to say because you are representatives. You're going to amplify your voice and just make sure that the right thing is done. I know you're looking forward to seeing the money that is going to be raised put into the rightful use, and the reason as to why we are pushing to have that infrastructure fund established, so that then, like one gentleman brought up an issue saying that we would want to know that this road is being built through the funds that were raised through the sale of the shares of Safaricom. And therefore, we celebrate you as our constituents and the people who've put us into place of leadership, and we thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you very much, Mheshimiwa Konya Duku. Tumpigia makofi Mheshimiwa Konya Duku. Huyo ni mbunge wa kipindi cha pili. Tulichaguliwa naye 2017 pamoja. Lakini namwambianga ni wa kipindi cha tatu kwa sababu alichaguliwa tena 2022 na chama cha Jubilee katika Nyandarua. Now you can imagine how difficult that must have been. Our host, member of parliament.
Thank you, Chair. Wa Nairobi. Kitu ya kwanza nimefurahi sana. Nikiwaona hapa wengine wakizungumza na mkiintroduce, nimeona Nairobi yote imefika hapa. And that's important. Wajua serikali inaweza kusema inataka public participation na hamujitokezi. Na nimeona wale ambao wamejitokeza hapa ni watu ambao wako informed. Okay? Tumeona hata kuna professor hapa amekuja ametueducate kidogo. Hata amepatia che wetu wa finance na national planning solutions kidogo ambao anaweza kwenda even higher kutoka pale amefika. So hii ilikuwa kwa committee mbili. Hiyo ya finance and national planning, public debt na privatization. Wajua every point that you made, hata mimi nikikaa hapo ninafikiria, and I want to say this, Chair. Controlling interest is controlling interest. Okay? And Vodafone has been a good partner. Safaricom, it would never reach where it reached without the partnership of Vodafone. Somebody said here, locally managed companies are doing very poorly. We want that international feel. Kwa sababu, we have trust issues, even with our own locals when they're running institutions. So, ile kitu tunataka, if we can have a clause that when Vodafone decides they want to offload, they offload first option back to government. Then government can offload back to the people of Kenya, so that it doesn't go to somebody else. I don't know how you can do that. But since government is offloading to Vodafone, then can Vodafone, if they ever decide tomorrow they want to sell, let them sell back to government. Government can have a transition period, sell back as an IPO to the Kenyan people. Safaricom is our pride and joy as Kenyans. Any dignitary that comes into this country from anywhere in the world, the first thing they say, mobile money started in Kenya. It is part of our history. It is part of our heritage. And if there is a way, we can give Vodafone 10% and do an IPO at 34 shillings. Set the price and let Kenyans also buy. So that we retain controlling interest. Let's retain controlling interest if we can. And if Vodafone wants this controlling interest, let them know. And this is in the law of partnership. If you want to sell, you start with the first partner you have. So the partner they have is the Kenyan people and the Kenyan government. So they cannot sell it anywhere else. So I feel, and the manner of valuation should also be captured in the agreement. So that they don't come back with another valuation that will make it impossible for us to buy it back. So let's protect the Kenyan people. Now, for someone else who said, you know, you come here and you're part of the executive. Wajua hii mambo ya kusema tumenuliwa. I want to tell you something. Hatuwezi kunuliwa. You know, it's part of social media craziness. Sometimes you have to agree. We are three arms of government. But there are times we have to sit down and agree for the greater good of the people. And my party leader, Raila Odinga, understood that. And as his child, I understand that. And even now, my party leader, Oburu Odinga, has said very clearly that we are not fielding candidates for president or deputy president. We are working with the broad-based government. Why? Because Kenya is bigger than all of us. We do not need to take the top office. We need to see continuity and growth for the people. Others are calling for demonstrations. What will demonstrations do for all your businesses? We do not want demonstrations. We want solutions. We want prosperity. And I'm telling you, you know, the way you talked, I was sitting there and I was still thinking, it's like telling me, you are allowed to pray to Jesus, Mother Mary, and anybody else, but don't go directly to God. At the moment, we have the president. And for me, when I stuck my neck out in 2023 and supported the finance bill, he has not let me down. I see the houses in Nairobi. I see the people moving from the slums with dignity to proper housing. Let me tell you, sometimes you might not appreciate the value of what you have until you lose it. Keep our country in prayer. Keep our president in prayer. Keep our leaders in prayer, because we are there to serve you. And what I want to tell you is that at the end of the day, times are hard, not only in Kenya, all over the world. But this is an economy that is growing, that is stabilized, and things are happening. Why would you want to shoot it down? Why would you want to change something that isn't broken, something that is fixing what they found to be broken? So let us unite for the greater good of this country. To speak and to hate is very easy. To love is very difficult. But if you're a believer, then you know love because you know God. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I only allowed her to go the political way because she's not part of our committees, and so she may not be able to make the decision. She cannot make the decision at the House. But then, most importantly, she is your member of Parliament. So another round of applause for the brave, the Honorable Esther Muthoni Pasari is the Iron Lady of Nairobi. So wengine tafadhali tusiende direction ya siasa kwa sababu nyinyi sasa mtakuwa nyinyi ndiye decision makers kwa ile maoni ambayo mmesikia kutoka kwa wengine. Karibu mheshimiwa.
Thank you, Chairman. Asante sana, Chairman. Let me take this opportunity to congratulate all of you. Kuwa mumejitokeza leo mkakuja hapa mkasema hii ni nchi yetu, and this is a matter of national interest. And it's not easy to just come and sit here and discuss issues that affect our country. Asanteni sana. You have done a good job. We are proud of you. And I'm also very proud Kenyans are very informed. Munajua mambo mingi. And the way some of you have gone ahead and gave us solutions that we never thought of. We will also take into account all those inputs you have done. Of course, your time will not be wasted. Your brains will not be wasted. We will take account of everything. We will do the best that we can to represent you guys in the House. And as you leave today, I also want to urge you guys to talk to your members of Parliament, because the day of voting, we are very few. We will only present a report. The rest will be decided by the House. We want you to take your members of Parliament into account to make sure they represent you and they take your vote into the House. Asante sana, Chairman. It's not easy to stand all day here without a break. I was wondering, huyu jamaa kwani hata siakae tu for 2 minutes. And he was very focused and was listening everything. Situmpatie, we clap for the chair. Asante sana, Chair.
Thank you very much, Mheshimiwa, and thank you for your very kind comments. FCP Oyula.
Chairman na wananchi, hamjambo. Hamjambo tena. Mimi nataka kuwashukuru sana kwa hiyo maelezo mtupatia siku ya leo. Tumejifundisha vizuri kabisa. This is a big learning session for some of us, because trading in shares, you know, is a daily issue. Na sometimes inaweza kuwa na makosa kidogo. Na hiyo makosa ndio wananchi wakitoa, we get prepared to make sure that we protect pesa ya wananchi. So the only thing I want to assure you, nyinyi kama wananchi wa Kenya, the creation of infrastructure fund will ensure that pesa inaenda mahali inatakikana. instead of keeping it in the consolidated fund where you cannot trace a cent, but kwa infrastructure fund, kila mtu ataelezwa, tumejenga barabara hii, tumefanya electricity hapa, maji imetengenezwa hapa, so it will be easy for mwananchi to carry out an audit. So that assurance in our committee, whenever we come up with assurance, we make sure hata kwa bunge tunapata hiyo support, kwa sababu we guard the finances of wananchi. And for that reason, I want to thank you and congratulate you, nyinyi wabunge wa Nairobi. I think you are well informed and you have really greatly helped us. So be assured there will be control. Asanteni sana kukuwa na sisi siku ya leo, and I think we have gotten some good ideas from you. Asanteni.
Thank you very much, FCPA. Mheshimiwa Uyalo, tumpigia makofi mbunge wa Butula. Sasa tunaenda kule Baringo.
Asante sana mwenyekiti. Fellow countrymen and women, the legislators of the people of Kenya who have been able to sit here since this morning to now. I want to salute you and say congratulations for your patience and your contributions that you've made throughout the day. My name remains Joseph McClap, Member of Parliament, Baringo North. And I'm very happy because today, even Mama Mboga is very informed. Even Boda Boda is very informed. Even Mau Mau veterans from 47 counties that I have seen here, they are very informed. It means Kenya imefika hatua kubwa sana. I even saw when a chairman, a professor here, who has done a lot of maths. We need to add this formula to the Cordon's principle of calculating shares. This young man. And chairman, find favor to share with the big men who are ajiriwa kazi kwa National Treasury afanyanga hiyo mahesabu. Najua mtu akionyesha ueleti ambaye raia waelewi, peleka National Treasury, akuwe Treasury Mandarin, afanye mahesabu huko alete raia. Au namna gani? So chairman, mimi naona hii maneno iko sawa. In fact, citizens, what our chairman has said and what the government's sessional paper is addressing is saying commercially viable infrastructure projects. Tunataka barabara tukifungua inalete pia kodi na inarahisisha kazi ya mwananchi kufanya biashara. Sio barabara tu ambaye there is nothing that comes out of it. We want the government to invest these resources in commercially viable infrastructure projects that will bring in income to our country. And finally, to add that through the citizens of the people of Kenya, including GNC, last year, the Kenyans have spoken. Wamesema kodi imefika hapa, msituongezee tena kodi. Sindio? And the government has listened, say no more, citizens are saying no more addition of taxes. If anything, reduce. Kenyans are saying, do not borrow again. Borrowing has become too much. Bring it down. So, which is the best option? Privatization. Use what you have to build Kenya. Rais na serikali yake apewe nafasi ya kujenga Kenya kutumia yale iko kwa serikali ya Kenya. So if we release 15% infrastructure shares to the market and we get 200 billion, that means we have reduced our budget deficit of 923 by 200. To go get ingine through what is called PPP, then we shall have resources out of our budget books to finance our programs. Na amutaleta tena shida ya kusema barabara hii imekwama, na safari hii vile nyinyi raia umesema tunataka hii pesa ikiwa invested in infrastructure, then should not be in one corner of the republic, should be spread across the Republic of Kenya so that every citizen will now feel what they have done for your government. Samani ilikuwa naenda kwa kona moja ya nchi. Safari hii sisi wabunge hii wote unaona kuna mtu ya Western, kuna mtu ya Nakuru, kuna mtu ya kila tabaka ya Kenya yote. We are serious and we want this infrastructure funds distributed across the Republic of. Asanteni sana, Mungu awabariki, tunawapenda, muendelee kutupigia kura na tuende mbele.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Makilap. Mheshimiwa Makilap alikuwa mwalimu wa double maths. Wanaelewa Gordon's principle. So this marks the first day of the second round of public participation. We finished the engagement with the stakeholder engagements 2 weeks ago. We took a break for the next session, for this session's parliamentary retreat. Today we have divided ourselves into 4 groups for ease so that we can reach as many Kenyans as possible. So here we are at Nairobi, KICC, for public participation. Simultaneously, there's a similar meeting for public participation and civic education. And I think this is very important. We are doing not just public participation, but we're starting with civic education, then we have public participation. So that the Kenyans that are going to give us their views actually are informed of the facts. And so that we also eliminate all the and disinformation that is going on, especially on our media and social media platforms. So today we're in Nairobi, another team is in Nyandarua, another team is in Machakos, another team is in Mandera. Tomorrow we head to Nakuru, we shall be in Nakuru, Wajir, Nyeri and Kitui counties. On Wednesday we'll do Kericho and Kirinyaga. On Thursday we will be in Baringo, Kisumu, Embu and Murang'a counties. On Friday the 7th we shall be in Kakamega County. On 6th, that is Monday next week, we shall be in West Pokot, Tharaka Nithi, Kiambu and Vihiga counties. Tuesday next week, that is the 10th of February, we shall be Uasin Gishu County.
Here's the reality. Your college degree took 4 years and $100,000. AI skills?
And Taita Taveta County. On Thursday, the 12th of February, we shall cover Kajiado and Samburu counties. On Friday, the 13th of February, we shall be in Homa Bay and Mombasa counties. And on Saturday, the 14th of February, we shall be in Kilifi and Kwale counties. So we're going to cover 30 counties across the country so that we inform Kenyans of what is happening what is the proposal for their shareholders. And number 2, we seek their views. And I want to thank everyone that came today for giving us your views. Just to highlight some of the views said, is that maybe we need to consider whether we need to give Vodacom a controlling stake. So maybe should we consider giving them some lower shareholding? Number 2, if it were possible to have also Kenyans invest in this particular divestiture. And number 3, if you can look for other suitable buyers for this particular, so that we can make sure we have the highest value. You have also raised concerns about making sure that the fund is ring-fenced by law, so that that money does not go to the consolidated fund services to pay for other things. And it's good that we have even discussed what happened during Eurobond, where we borrowed more than almost the equivalent of what we are raising now, but we cannot point out what exactly was done by that Eurobond. So I think the meeting from Nairobi are telling us they must see, if this transaction has to succeed, they must see where the proceeds go, and that must be ring-fenced in law. And all those views and all the other views that you've raised, we are going, and of course the issue of equity in terms of distribution of those projects. We want that if it goes to those infrastructure projects, they need to be identified early, they need to be equitable, and they need to go to all parts of the Republic of Kenya, because these shares belong to all people of the Republic of Kenya. So again, I thank you very much. And this is really also a challenge to my colleague members of Parliament. You know, these ordinary citizens have demonstrated they truly understand these matters. They take time to read these documents that are come before us. But sometimes it's very embarrassing when you see members of Parliament who are elected to represent the people speaking on things based on rumors. And you're a member of Parliament. So my urge to colleagues is that as you go to oppose and to discuss this, discuss it on facts. Lastly, if all these people who are not elected, who are not paid to be in this meeting, took their time to read, to study, and to give their views for this particular matter, they have told me they'll be watching you at the House, whether you have an understanding as they do on this particular matter, and they'll be watching to see the decision that you make on this particular matter, because they elected you and they pay you to do that job. Kama nyinyi mnachukua time ya kusoma na mnaelewa, unaona wabunge wengine huko TikTok na social media wanasema vitu si ni embarrassing kweli. Hao ndio wanafaa kuwakilisha. And let me also tell my colleagues, sometimes tunajipiga kifua kidogo. Tunafikiria sisi ni wajanja kuliko Wakenya wengine. We have just been given a favor by God to lead these people. Because at any particular time, in any constituency, there can only be one member of parliament serving at that particular time. We have only been given favor by God to be serving at this time. Not because we are smarter than all these other people. And this meeting has shown there are people with even more information than us. So tusiwapigie kifua, tuwasikize na tuwafanyie kazi na Mwenyezi Mungu atatubariki. Thank you and God bless you. Asante sana the people of the media for keeping Kenyans informed. I was following your information and really, yes, and this information is going out here. Again, unajua one of the things we got wrong wakati tulikuwa tunafanya, not we got wrong, for finance bill. You know, some people want to create their own websites and their own information center ati wao wanachukua maoni. Tafadhali. You do not need to do that. That work has already been done. If you see what is on the screen, if you have a smartphone, if you just scan that QR code, it takes you to the, first of all, to the website where it will give you an explainer of what this partial divestiture is. It's going to give you a form where you say, do you agree, do you disagree, and what are your views? And you can do that, and anybody, anywhere can do that. You just need to scan that QR code there. So please, don't use this time to spread rumors, misinformation, and disinformation, and you have enabled it. You don't even have to come for these physical meetings. Once you scan it, and you give